Hello and welcome to the Magic Mirror podcast. I'm your host, as usual, Khan the Trinket Mage, and with me is my co-host, 33 Elk.
Hello.
Are you good?
I'm coming off of a little bit of a sickness. Well, one of us has to always be sick. That's the rules.
I feel like
Oh, right,
75%
right.
of the time it's you.
I like to go outside, unlike most Magic the Gathering players.
Oh, that was probably loud. I'm pouring myself some Mountain Dew.
It's a nice product placement, dude.
They don't sponsor us. Fuck Mountain Dew. Well, hang on. Let me try the citrus combo.
The citrus combo?
No, Cabo.
Cabo.
Place.
I thought you had some like weird like potion that you like mix with Mountain Dew, like the citrus combo, and I was like,
Oh,
really
that would be awesome.
I was really confused what you meant.
No, it's just their citrus flavor. It's actually not too bad. Oh yeah, we have another co-host, Salubrious Snail. Hello. Hello. Fuck did he go? Hello.
I'm back.
I assume Alex. Yeah, Alex is there.
I popped away
but
for half a
this-
second.
Oh, I see.
What happened?
This is the most
I just
perfect
introduced you
intro.
to the podcast.
Oh. Hello.
This rocks. Wait, this is the perfect intro ever.
Yeah, I'll leave all that in. Whatever.
My cat was standing hungrily by his food bowl, which was empty. So I was like, I'm just going to briefly jump up to do that. And surely I won't need to speak before the next 10 seconds from now.
You were pretty close. We were talking about Mountain Dew, so you had some time.
I was like, surely you guys got more Mountain Dew chat in the tank. Come on.
What are we doing again? Oh yeah. Today's episode, we're talking about. We're gonna. How are we framing this? I still just want to. Can we do the? We stole this idea from MTGGoldfish and just do the Shark Tank thing. They can't sue us. They stole it from Shark Tank.
We could?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, cool. All right, we're stealing from MTGGoldfish. If you don't know, we love doing that. We're gonna pitch 3 cards to our other friends on cards that they should try out in decks here and there, and see what the other 2 think. And then you in the comments can also participate and tell us how terrible you think these cards are. And then after that, we're gonna get to some of your questions because we didn't get to them last week, but we'll get to some this week. I'm just gonna start. I'm opening with a card I absolutely love. Played it in many decks. I'm sure I've mentioned it once or twice on the podcast, but I really want to pitch Reweave. This is 5 generic and a blue for an instant. It is arcane. It has Splice into Arcane for 2 blue, but that's not very relevant. Most importantly, target permanent's controller sacrifices it. If the player does, they reveal cards from the top of their library until they reveal a permanent card that shares a card type with it, and then put that onto the battlefield and shuffle. So this is an instant speed polymorph, which traditionally you use by making a token and only having 1 creature in your deck, and then you sacrifice it with the Reweave or the polymorph effect to put the really big creature into play. The cool thing about Reweave is 1, it's instant speed. Polymorph is 4 mana but sorcery speed. 2, this cares about any permanent type. So that means if you make a treasure token and you only have 1 artifact in your deck, you can sack the treasure and put whatever big artifact into play. Or if you have an enchantment creature in the command zone and no enchantments or creatures in your deck, you can put any enchantment to play. And it targets your opponent's stuff, which is also really funny. If they have a big scary artifact, you can make them flip into a mana rock.
My first thought is that just this costs a lot of mana. Like, I feel like one of the big benefits of polymorph is that it can get you to something pretty quickly. Most are like in the 4 to 5 range mana wise. I guess the instant speed could be relevant if you're like trying to set up for a cool turn, but it does seem a little bit pricey. Are there really no other blue polymorphs that care about card type? Because I know red has them.
There's a couple. So like you have Forge Anew, but that's specifically for artifacts, right? Or not Forge Anew. It's something like that. It's 3 and a blue for Mirrodin that spins an artifact into a different one. But like there's a bunch for niche things like that, but there's none that could like say flip an enchantment into Omniscience, right?
Yeah. So there's Reality Scramble in red, which puts a thing on the bottom and then flips. But otherwise, this is the only polymorph in blue that cares about any permanent type.
Okay.
So that's why I like it.
Well, that's a boon then. I could say it.
I will say the instant speed is also very relevant if you're polymorphing into a creature, because then you end step put the creature in play, untap, and you can attack with it.
Right.
A lot of times with polymorph, they just play at sorcery speed, flip into the Blightsteel, and then everyone goes, "Oh no," and they untap and they just remove it.
Yeah. Well, this is very expensive, but I do actually believe in it quite a bit. It's just like, Commander is meant for the slower things, and paying 6 mana for an Omniscience is still like a 3 mana discount. So I'm not sleeping on this one. I'm well aware that this can probably do some work.
No, and I think the utility makes it probably worth it. It's the same deal with a lot of other 6 mana or 7 mana instant speed answers and other utility tools. Like, obviously, it costs a lot of mana, but for that mana, it's very, very effective in a lot of situations. So I definitely see the vision here. Plus, the art's kind of sick. Like, look at that guy.
It is cool. It is cool. Kamigawa has some really sick art. He's turned into a beast man.
He's having a bummer of a day, maybe. Maybe he likes this. I don't know.
Who can tell?
Commenters, tell us, how, on a scale of 1 to 5, how much is this man enjoying what is occurring?
All right, you want to go next, Elk?
Sure. I'm going to talk about Protection Racket. It's a 2 and a black enchantment from Streets of New Capenna Commander. And it says at the beginning of your upkeep, repeat the following process for each opponent in turn order. Reveal the top card of your library. That player may pay life equal to that card's mana value. If they do, exile that card. Otherwise, you put it in your hand. So, exactly. So, no, this card sucks, but it's funny. That's the whole point, baby. I run this in my Cormella Big Spells deck now. This is a new edition. And I flip an 8-drop off this. Do you want to pay 8, Snail?
That's a pretty convincing argument for giving you an 8-drop.
Yeah, no, if you want to pay 8, then great. You lost 8 life. If you don't want to pay 8, well, great news. I get to cast that card. Like, I don't know. It's like, it only sucks when you hit lands, but here's the thing. Just replace all your lands with MDFCs and Lorien Revealeds. And now your entire deck is huge mana value.
This card has definitely gotten so much better since its printing because more MDFCs, the cyclers. If you're in at least like a 3-color deck, like your Cormella list, you get the 3 land cyclers, and they're all high mana value. Lorien Revealed's like 5. The red one's like, what, 7, 8?
6. It's 6? 5 in a red.
5 in a red. Oh, and the black one is...
Troll of Cause of Doom is 5 in a black. The highest mana value is 6. Lorien Revealed's the only one that got away with 5 mana value.
Oh.
I don't know why they decided to do that.
Good.
That was pretty bad because it's not a creature. Can't even attack with it.
Exactly. It's sorcery speed, draw 3 cards. Who would ever play that?
I hope it gets reprinted in the Hobbit so bad for pauper reasons. Oh, God. This is a funny card. I hate that it exiles. If it put it in the bin, this card would be nuts.
Fuck, I'm so mad that you have a valid criticism of my card. I think I'm like, oh no, you put it in my graveyard anyway. Mizzix's Mastery, it makes me so mad that it doesn't put in the graveyard.
I'm trying to think. Is there any way to take advantage of this exile thing? Not really. Ulamog's Nullifier?
I don't know. I kind of like cards that put things into perma exile. It feels like a power move that I don't care about my card board, because I think a lot of people are bothered by that, and I love being the unbothered Giga Chad.
You know what? Hell yeah, Snail. I like that.
The biggest reason why I like this card is because the text involves the words "repeat the following process for each opponent in turn order," and the shit that's gonna come after that is gonna be great when you read those words. It's gonna be convoluted and a quality Magic the Gathering card. I do like this. I like that there's kind of a political element as well. You can try and talk your opponents
100%.
into hey, you don't want to take that damage, buddy. 4 damage is a lot. You better not. You better stay safe.
Oh, hey,
yeah, or even if you do get something small, you can be like, oh, that's my Swords to Plowshares. If you give it to me, I'll use it on someone else's thing,
Oh yeah, exactly. No, I run make an example in Cormella, right? That's the factor fiction your board, and then you sack one of the piles that you chose, right? So you split it in half, and then I make you sack one of the piles that you split in half. I'm like, dude, if you give me that, I'll let you have one pile of all your creatures, and I'll choose it. And we could just plague win the other 2 opponents. I didn't even think about the political aspect of this card. I was just drooling at the thought of big mana value drain.
This makes it so you don't draw lands if you really want to always hit gas. Because, if you flip a land, they're always going to just throw it in exile. They're not going to give you a free card. So, you're definitely going to draw something, right? Something good in your draw step.
Maybe. I mean, it's like you can still draw a land in your draw step, even if you exile one to this card.
Impossible. 2 lands in a row? That'd be crazy.
Nah, hasn't happened before.
Anyway, yeah, that's my card.
I like it. I don't think I'm putting it in anything, to be honest.
Yeah, I definitely don't have a home for this, but I do respect it. And I like that it matches the plane of your Carmella deck. That's a nice piece of cohesion.
You're so right.
Isn't that literally... No, they all have that haircut.
They all have that haircut. Yeah.
I was like, is that Carmella? No, Carmella would not be holding a massive hammer, but,
Well, you don't know her. She might be stealing it.
I guess so. Yeah, that's fair. Huh? It is a glamorous hammer, so plausible.
What about you, Snail? What's your card?
Yeah, my card is Force of Despair.
Oh, nice.
This is a card. It is a black and 2 colorless. It is in the Force cycle, which means it has the text, if it's not your turn, you may exile a card of this color, a black card, from your hand rather than play the spell's mana cost. And it reads, destroy all creatures that entered this turn. Okay, in my experience, this is decent as a removal spell. It almost functions a little bit more like a counter spell just because it is not an answer to a threat that already exists on the board. If you draw this will not deal with that horrifying creature across the board from you. But in exchange for that, both it can be a free spell and the blowout of a well-timed Force of Despair is brutal. Like, your opponent has some massive turn, and they go to pass the turn, Force of Despair, and they just get their shit rocked. Or even greater, your opponent has a massive turn, they get an anger in their graveyard, they go to attack, Force of Despair, there they go. So the blowout potential is huge here, and I like the energy of it. I also like the art. The art is very little bit abstract, but like very tasty. I love kind of weird, abstract body horror art.
All 3 of the arts for this are so different.
There's the SpongeBob one.
Oh yeah. Secret Lair, Modern Horizons. Yeah.
Which the SpongeBob doesn't even make sense. I don't. This is he's like.
Squidward destroyed them. Let's destroyed SpongeBob and Patrick.
No, doesn't he just close the blinds and go to bed or whatever? It doesn't make sense. Anyway, the other Secret Lair one is also very abstract.
Yeah, I want to like that one, but the font of the text just doesn't do it for me on that one. You can show it on screen. It's the purpley one.
I do actually run Force of Despair, by the way.
In what deck?
I run it in Iara First of Lochthwain.
Nice.
Force of Despair, much like any pitch card, is it's kind of required that your deck has crazy card advantage. So this is a Bolas of Citadel. Iara herself is a card draw engine, right? So I'm already kind of drawing 2 cards a turn in this deck, and that makes Force of Despair a lot less of a cost. But what's really funny about Force of Despair is I have Massacre Worm in the deck. So I Massacre Worm the Selesnya Tokens player, and then they cry. And then if they're not dead yet and they make a giant Selesnya Tokens board again, I Force of Despair that board, and then they actually die.
That's pretty good. I am also running Massacre Worm in the deck that I run it in, so that's
what deck are you playing this in?
My Liesa deck, my new and improved Liesa deck.
I saw someone Force of Negate a Force of Despair the other day in a Commander game I was in. One player was attacking another one, so he Force of Despair that creature, and then another guy Force of Negated the Force of Despair, so the damage would go through.
That's cool. I approve.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't even think the pitch is that bad. 3 mana for that effect isn't that bad. So
the only time I'm really upset about this pitch is when you've played a flyer. God, if you play a Traxa and I'm already at 14 commander damage and I have to go, fuck, well, I guess I have to pitch to get rid of it. That's where I feel pretty miserable.
Sure. Yeah.
No, generally speaking, if you go double spell creatures and then I pitch and I get rid of 2 of your creatures, that's a 2 for 2. I'm pretty fine with that.
Yeah.
And this card destroys token decks.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Even if it didn't have the pitch, side option, like just 3 mana to blow up every token that entered this turn, is like a one-sided wrath against certain decks, and that can just be absolutely game-winning. All right, shall I move on to my second card?
Go wild.
Yeah.
Since neither of you picked any green cards, I have to be the defender of green here and pick some interesting green cards that I want to pitch. So I'm gonna suggest one of my classic favorites, and that is Seasons Past. I absolutely love Seasons Past. So it is green 4 for a sorcery. Return any number of cards with different mana values from your graveyard to your hand, and then put Seasons Past on the bottom of its owner's library. This is such an awesome late game card for any grindy mid-range deck or slower control deck. Late game, you cast this and you're like, okay, here's my Swords to Plowshares, here's my Abrupt Decay, here's my random 3-mana creatures, my random 4-mana creature, 5-mana creature, and you just pick up 5-6 cards, and then you have all this value. But even better is if you have, in addition to Seasons Past, any tutor that can find it, you got a little infinite value loop going on here. If you have Demonic Tutor, for example, it could be anything that can find Seasons Past. You'll pick up the Demonic Tutor with the Seasons Past. It goes on the bottom of the library. You play all the other cards from Seasons Past. You cast your board wipe, you recast your creatures, your card draw, blah, 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 blah. And then you Demonic Tutor for the Seasons Past again. Recast Seasons Past, pick up all those cards you just played, replay them again for even more value, and you can just keep going. And it becomes this crazy engine for the ultra late game. And I love my late game stupid value engines.
Oh yeah, Seasons Past is great. I think it also strikes a nice balance between mana cost and effect, because you've got some of these return a bunch of cards from graveyard cards that are 7 or 8 mana. I'm thinking of what is it? Enter the
Praetor's Council?
There's Praetor's Council, and there's Harness the Infinite or something like that from Strixhaven. Harness Infinity, I think. Both of these are good cards, but they're a lot of mana. And I think just having the 4 colorless double green for this effect is quite sweet. Usually you don't need more than this. The best card of each mana value is going to be very, very good. So I think this is pretty great if you are kind of a later game grindier deck, for sure.
I like the deck building around it where you can have a bunch of this is my board wipe mana value, this is my tutor mana value, this is my land, and then this is my you can have a bunch of different mana values. I kind of like that a lot. I do feel like this card is slightly mogged by Shigeki nowadays, where it's Shigeki has the graveyard synergy stuff going on. He's also an early game play that then turns into a late game play. Even though he is more mana intensive, he works with Seedborn Muse because he's instant speed. So you can do instant speed loops on opponents' turns and have basically quadruple time walk every single turn rotation.
Yeah, because Shigeki, if you have a regrowth effect, you can just bring him back.
Yeah, or Tortured Existence, right, at instant speed. There's that one Simic one that we just got from Dragonstorm. That's instant speed as well. So just being able to go, or even in mono green, Pulse of Moross is an instant. So once you hit that threshold with enough mana in green, and having Seedborn Muse out, you can kind of just Shigeki all over the place. So Shigeki has some upsides, but there's definitely some fun stuff with Seasons Past that Shigeki doesn't do.
I think it's going to depend on your list, because if you have a lot of cards of similar mana values, Shigeki's probably a better value engine. But Seasons Past for 6 mana is probably going to get you more cards than Shigeki. So it's slightly less mana intensive to pick up most of your graveyard.
Yeah, Seasons Pass is better on
you're
the
in green,
raw
so.
efficiency, I think. But Shigeki is a much more flexible card just because it has the creature mode and it's instant speed and it doesn't put yourself into your library, etc.
And it doesn't
That's
get
true.
countered besides Stifle.
No, true.
Yes, Channel is a very powerful mechanic.
Yeah, this also reminds me a lot of Paradise Lost, which is one of the only one of these mass return effects besides Shigeki I run in decks. I was building Bobo, big old Borborygmos Enraged, right? And with Paradise Lost, you get the cards of mana value X or less, where X is 2d6 rolled. But you can also get any number of cards back, which
any number
includes
of cards back
lands.
Is total mana value. Oh, you just roll 2d6. Okay, interesting.
And that's also
but it exiles the cell, so you can't loop it.
Yeah, you can't loop it, but Borborygmos is in play. I bring back all my lands to my hand. You're probably just dead.
Yeah.
I never.
Oh, interesting. This is a. I might have to add this for a deck
I've never
that I'm
noticed this
working
card's
on.
an instant before. That's actually really relevant.
Yeah, no, Paradise Lost is actually a really good card, and people just don't know about it because it's Unfinity.
In the past, I've used Creeping Renaissance, which I think is still also a good card. I guess I could have mentioned it here. For my board deck, because you just name lands and it puts every land back into your hand and it has flashbacks, so you can do it twice. You can just like pick all your lands up, throw them at somebody, then flash it back, pick them all up, do it again.
Yeah, I mean, I ran both in the Borb deck I was brewing, so
Okay, I'm gonna have to make a note of Paradise Lost here because this card's really good.
it is really decent.
But that's not the card you were gonna pitch. What about you, Elk?
Oh yeah, so I was gonna talk about another black card here, Voldarin Pariah. 3 black for a 3/3 flying vampire horror. Sacrifice 3 other creatures to transform her, and she has madness for black. We can just pretend that's flavor text. Flips into a 6/5 abolisher of bloodlines. I believe the name of the card is. It's an Eldrazi vampire horror, and it says when this transforms into abolisher of bloodlines, target opponent sacrifices 3 creatures. So you sack 3 creatures to make target opponent sacrifice 3 creatures. I'm also running this in my Iara deck. It's a little annoying that it flips into a colorless creature, so
Yeah.
I can't sack it to Iara. But my other sack outlets allow me to sacrifice this thing. It's a tokens deck, so it's really easy to sacrifice 3 things. It allows me to sacrifice the Abolisher Bloodlines post scamming it. So like a 1 black mana, return this next time it dies instant, and then it flips back into play as Voldarin Pariah. And then I sack 3 more tokens and make you sack another 3 or target a different opponent. So it's actually really funny because you can loop it with those Undying instants.
That's pretty sweet. That's pretty cool. I love transform cards that have more unique conditions. It's not like just mana cost and you flip it. And this is pretty sweet. Also, 5 mana and 3 creatures in like a aristocracy deck. 3 creatures like nothing for like a 6/5 flyer that triple innocent bloods a player is like really good.
Yeah, this is definitely a card that I entirely forgot about because I think
Same.
it is on a power level where I think it's a little tricky in a lot of commander games, especially the target player opponent sacrifices 3 creatures. I think the number of situations where you're really happy to trade your 3 creatures for somebody else's 3 creatures is a little bit lower than it would be if you were making like each opponent sacrifice 2 creatures or something. So I think it is a little bit more situational in that sense. However, still, I think if you're playing a deck that creates a lot of creatures, I think this is still pretty solid. And if you could take advantage of the madness, though the madness cost is a little tricky, I think that's even better. This does seem a bit situational overall to me, though.
I mean, it has to be a really specific deck to play it.
I am just in love with this card's design so much. I basically don't see the madness cost on this card. Like I have no intention of madnessing it in my silly Iara deck where I run it, but if it ever comes up, that will make me laugh.
But if you're playing like Edric Sar and you just have like a bunch of thralls and crap like that all the time,
Yeah.
like I feel like this is pretty good. It's like relatively efficient because the thralls are like absolutely free. Like you really don't need them.
Yeah, I'm a full on like Bitter Blossom, like the stupid rat, Lord Skitter, like that kind of deck. Like I'm just full to the brim of these black token generating cards, so it's like I have a billion of them laying around.
Okay. I will say that the name Abolisher of Bloodlines makes me want to play this card, so I think it gets style points for that. I swing 6 at you with my Abolisher of Bloodlines is very cool. So it might be worth running for that alone.
I kind of wish it had like a second keyword on the back. Like
Yeah.
they couldn't give it flying and trample or something. Like my Abolisher of Bloodlines, which I had to sacrifice 3 dudes for and pay 5 mana, gets like completely chump blocked by like a pigeon.
Yeah.
This was a decade ago, pal. We don't get good cards.
Yeah.
I don't want good cards. I want mediocre cards. And this is leaning a little bit towards bad, and I want it to be mediocre leaning good.
This was like right before Fire era, so like
Yeah.
they hadn't quite started turning up the heat on the power levels.
Well, in Fire era, it would make each opponent sacrifice 3 creatures, and it would have flying trample lifelink quintuple strike on the back.
Exactly. Yeah. Hey, it's Eldrazi. It's got to be. There were actually some decently strong Eldrazi designs from that set, but
Yeah, Emrakul.
yeah,
It would just flip into an Annihilator 3 monster.
true.
Annihilator feels like a good keyword for the abolisher of bloodlines. It could have Annihilator 1, to be honest.
What's yours?
My next one is Rot Curse Rakshasa. This was printed in Tarkir Dragonstorm, and it is colorless and a black for a 5/5 demon with trample and decayed. So can't block when you attack, sacrifice it at the end of combat, and then renew X and double black. You can exile from your graveyard to put a decayed counter on each of up to X target creatures. So I think the scaling of the power tough. First of all, I just love the design of this on base. I think it's really fun to have a kind of big guy that sacrifices itself. I think it's kind of fun. There was like a Hearthstone card that was also a very similar to Satted card. I love that in Arena. Anyway, however, it does get a little bit weird in EDH because a 2-mana 5/5 that you can only attack with once is kind of bad. It's not even like a. It's not even like a. I mean, it's effectively a what is it? Lightning elemental or like
Yeah.
one of those.
It's like a ball lightning.
Yeah, ball lightning. It's like effectively that. Like you pay once, hopefully you get some damage in, but that's just not relevant in EDH.
The 5 toughness on this is so not that relevant. Like, I guess it could survive and you sacrifice it or whatever, but it's just really funny.
You're not blocking with this. However, I think there are a ton of use cases with this. For one, I think the fact that it is 2 mana for 5 power will be relevant sometimes. If you have green in your deck, if you're doing any power matters stuff, this will be cool. More importantly, if you have mill or discard, I think this is really sweet for getting a source of, I would say mostly evasion. I would put this in a more aggressive deck. Personally, you could run it more defensively. You could put it, put decayed counters on a bunch of dinosaurs and say, okay, after you attack, they die. But then your opponent's just going to get one swing for 20 at you in. So I like this more as a aggressive card to make opposing creatures unable to block. And I think it does a decently good job of that as long as you have enough, mill and self-discard to get it into the graveyard consistently and not have it suck up a hand slot, which the deck I play it in does have.
Okay, listen, I just have one message to put in the Discord chat, and I'm not going to say it out loud in the podcast. I'm just going to let your reaction speak for itself.
True.
I've posted Hirobi, Death's Wail, and Willbreaker, which both say whenever a creature an opponent controls whenever a creature becomes the target of a spell or ability you control, you either destroy it for Hirobi or you gain control of it with Willbreaker. So you can put that many decayed counters on creatures, and then you gain control of them or just outright destroy them with Hirobi.
Yeah, in the 99 of Hirobi, this is very good. It becomes black X, destroy X target creatures, which is quite strong. And then stealing them with Willbreaker is fine. I guess they're decayed, but that's kind of neat.
They're decayed, but you have a Shieldred.
Yeah.
I'm pretty happy with having that.
Yeah, well, it's really good with passive abilities, I think. If you're wanting to attack and block with them, a little bit worse, but suddenly Rot Curse Rakshasa becomes a card that is very nice for passive abilities.
You can also blink it, right? You can attack with a 2-mana 5/5 with trample and then flicker it, then it's still a 2-mana 5/5.
It was used in standard for a little bit with Kaito. You can ninjutsu it.
Oh.
Yeah, you pick it back up or you web sling it.
That's super cute. I like that.
Web slinging is a little bit hard because you sack it at end of combat, not end of turn.
Oh right, I forgot web slinging kind of sucks. Yeah, you can ninjutsu it. Why did they make that set's main mechanic bad ninjutsu? It doesn't make any sense.
Dude, they had 3 minutes to make the set. They have to make 12 more this year.
Okay, well, hold up. I mean, yeah, that's true, but the web slinging had to have been part of the set from a long time ago. Part of the when it was a mini set.
So was the thought that this is a mini set, we don't need to put effort into this mechanic?
I don't know. I have no clue.
Surely nobody will buy this product. We don't need to make it. I don't know.
Well, they were right. I do want to say I like this card, like you said, with green, like if I'm playing the Greater Good, right?
Yeah.
A 2-mana 5/5 in a deck that cares about Greater Good is awesome. And of course, you sack it, you draw your 5, discard 3 or whatever, and then it has another mode, so it's kind of like, drawing 4, right? Because it has an extra effect. Yeah, definitely if you care about the power of creatures on board in any capacity, this turns on Ferocious by itself instantly. Anything that cares about that, it's pretty relevant. It crews things super well.
Yeah.
Like, this is a great pilot.
Mm-hmm.
It stations things. There's uses. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the design's fire. This is awesome.
It's just got a ton of little niche use cases, and they all combine into a pretty cool card, even if it's not very good as a ball lightning. I mean, it's not bad as a ball lightning, but
I just remember there's Generous Patron too. That's the 2 and a green support too, and then whenever you put a counter on a creature you don't control, you draw a card.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, so this turns into like a brains. What is it called? Brain geyser.
Yeah, because you can draw a bunch of cards off of it. That's pretty sweet. All right, shall I do my last card?
Yeah,
sure.
I am also picking a card from the same set. Perenniation? Is that how you pronounce that?
Perenniation.
Perenniation?
It's like perennial.
Yeah, perennial. I get that. Perennialation?
Perenniation is what I would go with. I don't know.
Anyway, the name of the card aside, it is 3 in Abzan for sorcery. Put target permanent card from your graveyard to the battlefield with a hexproof counter and indestructible counter on it. One thing that I find really, really fascinating about this card is it doesn't reanimate creatures. It's anything. So you can put an enchantment into play with a hexproof and indestructible counter on it. Or an artifact or whatever. And that's something that is... I don't know if there's anything else that does that, right? Like, how else am I going to put counters on an enchantment like that? It's such a weird... It is 6 mana for reanimation, which is kind of jank. I'm well aware of that. But its effect is so 1 of 1. I think it's really cool. It's just an Abzan colors, specifically so.
I know this card's awesome, that you can return anything, you can put counters on enchantments and do all this like weird stuff. I still think about a creature. I'm like giant or like ancient adamantoise. Get in here with hexproof and indestructible. I can't die.
I mean, that's still sweet.
I didn't even know this turtle guy existed. Huh.
Yeah. All damage that would be dealt to you and other permanents is instead dealt to this creature instead. Well, great news. It's never going away. So...
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You can reanimate the Wall of Bossing Say and then give that thing hexproof, which is pretty annoying to get around.
I think the possibilities with this are fun. And it's 6 mana is not... It's a fair amount, but it's not horrific for a reanimation thing.
In green, it's not too bad.
No, it's not terrible or anything. So I see this being pretty solid. I will say the name and the art don't communicate a whole lot to me.
I don't know what the hell is going on.
I would...
The alternate art?
It's an Abzan warrior, like, becoming a spirit. Isn't she? It's like...
Yes, if you have the alternate art, it is much more clear that is someone wearing a special armor.
Ooh, that alternate art is so cool. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, no, I forgive the I don't want to say art crimes, because the original art's not bad. It just doesn't convey a sense of what's happening, and the vibes don't feel quite right to me.
Yeah, I want to know what they pitched to the artist on that. Eli Minyaya. I want to know what they said. Although a lot of the Eli's art here is kind of a little on the like abstract side, in a very cool way.
Which I don't mind that at all. I just, for this effect, I find myself expecting something more. I guess this is like something becomes a spirit is like the explanation of what is happening here. For Abzan, I don't know that I expect necessarily something kind of with this color profile or this kind of spiritual and abstract, but it's not bad art by any means.
Oh, I've seen Eli's art around before.
Yeah, they've made a lot of cards. A lot of cool ones.
Yeah, Get Lost, Return the Favor.
Let me look at some of these.
Oh yeah, these look sick. Oh man, I like most of these.
Oh yeah, Charitable Levy, the card I defended last time.
Oh yeah,
Cosmic Epiphany.
Let me put you on a synergy with this card. If you reanimate the Ozolith You can move the
Wait.
counters onto one of your creatures.
That's so cool. That's funny. Oh, here's my 6-mana Ozolith.
Look, the Ozolith, if you are an Ozolith deck, you will pay 6 mana to put the Ozolith back into play. With a Hexproof Indestructible counter. That is actually worth it in Ozolith decks. It's usually the best card in your deck if you're playing it.
Yeah. No, that's pretty sweet.
But yeah, I like this for Secret Commanders. It's a really great Secret Commander card because it reanimates whatever your Secret Commander is, no matter how jank it is, and it protects it. Elk, would you like to give your last card?
Yeah. I have Teo Geometric Tactician. This is 2 and a white for 3 loyalty planeswalker. When Teo Geometric Tactician enters the battlefield, you create a 0/4 wall with defender and flying. He has a +1 ability. You and target opponent each draw a card. And he has a -2 ability, which is choose left or right. Until your next turn, each player may only attack the nearest opponent in the last chosen direction, and planeswalkers controlled by that opponent. Planeswalkers are notably fragile in Commander unless you're doing some like insane doubling season combo BS, right? Teo here enters and then proceeds to play God's most disgusting game of keep away with himself, where it's like, oh, someone has an attacker that can kill Teo even through the 0/4 flying wall he makes. I'm going to -2 him. And then he replaces himself next turn because he's not going to die the first turn you deploy him because you can -2 him to choose left or right and then Pramicon everyone. And I run this currently in my Safara Flyers deck because he makes a flyer on entry. So, I really like him in a flying deck.
The wall has flying wall.
Interesting.
I think it's like the shield force field's the name. I think it's like a force
Yeah.
field. It's not like a wall.
Yeah, it's this like shield, like light wall that he makes.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's really fun.
I find this card's design appealing. However, I think I'm a little worried about the loyalty numbers. I to be clear, I think this has a place, and that place is probably in more, not exclusively more Pillar 40 decks, but more decks with various tools to make attacking worse. Because I think on its own, it's not very good at that. Like it's a -2 to use the choose left or right ability, which like you immediately put him to 1 loyalty and you can't use it again. So I think this is like a solid card if you're running like a crazy grindy defensive deck. But I think there's a reason why it hasn't quite crept into one of my decks, even though it kind of appeals to me.
I like the political aspect. It's very what is it, that Pramicon, the like Sky Vampire also has this effect. I like that. I like that it's political. The +1 is also very political. But oh man, the problem is if you play this in a Planeswalker deck, you lose politics really hard because you have things that basically say win the game on them. So people have to beat you up. So the politics kind of lacks there. And then if you play this outside of like a dedicated Planeswalker deck, it's kind of annoying to like keep them around. So I don't know. It's I'm very on him. I kind of wish he was like 2 mana.
2 mana would be crazy. This is just one of those instances where R&D has made a card and I didn't know I needed it until I put it in my deck. It's like, this is the perfect Safara Sky's Blade.
It's actually good in Safara?
It's insane in Safara. So keep in mind, in my Safara deck, I don't have a lot of ETB Flicker stuff going on because I have like 3 Hushbringers. So ETBs are never happening. Safara gives all my flying creatures indestructible, so I have permanent chump blockers. And then Teo just sits there and draws me cards while I kill you with my giant flying angel.
He doesn't just draw you cards.
I kill the person I'm having draw. Like you draw a card, but here's the thing: I'm also bludgeoning you for like 7 flying every turn. Sometimes more with
drew into
double
my
strike.
board wipe. You lose.
No, that's the thing. Safari gives everything indestructible. So even if you do board wipe,
farewell, got you. Toxic Deluge, got you.
All right, pal, you're pretending like phasing out doesn't exist. White has tools, little buddy.
I do kind of see the vision there just because it does have the flying wall stapled to it. Without that, I think no shot. The abilities just aren't that good. The loyalty numbers just aren't that big. But if a wall is genuinely useful to you, then sure, absolutely.
I like Teo as an advantage engine in a deck that otherwise can't run ETB advantage engines. That's my favorite thing about him. And then the secondary just going like, don't touch me is like really funny.
I might want to try him in my Boros list. Is this a force combat? deck, and then the minus is actually kind of relevant there, and it's like a politics deck as well. So
Best part about Goad too is they can't attack planeswalkers.
yes, Goad already makes it so that, well, I don't have Goad. It's forced combat, no Goad.
Okay.
But the left and right thing does help with that. Only problem is one printing, bro. $7. I don't want to spend $7 on this card.
I dropped
I guess-
$7 on this boy, and I've never been happier in my entire life. He's so funny.
I think I would have more fun spending $7 on a different Magic card. That's my problem.
Live your best geometric life, honestly. I respect it.
Yeah. Or I'll just proxy it. I don't know.
That's the sane answer.
Yeah. I kind of forgot that Commander Masters had original designs like this.
It was only in the precons.
It was the precons.
Oh, interesting.
Right. Okay.
This is in Planeswalker.
Why is it not
Party.
labeled on as Commander Masters precons on Scryfall?
Because it's not. It's just part of the same set, even though you can't get this in the packs. I think you can get it in collector boosters, like in a different printing or like foil, but you can't. Like it's in the precon, but it's still part of the same set for some reason.
I imagine they went, we don't need an extra commander set symbol. This is already a commander set.
I guess.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So, that's the rub.
All right, now that you're done rubbing, Alex, you want to give us?
I got some rub for you.
Okay, good.
This is definitely the worst card of my 3 here, and I'm excited to talk about it.
I've played this card.
This card is Assemble the Players. It is a 1 white and 1 colorless enchantment, 2-mana enchantment. You may look at the top card of your library anytime, and once each turn you may cast a creature spell with power 2 or less from the top of your library. So I guess to start with, if you are running a lot of power 2 or less creatures, like literally 40 or more, this card is going to be good because it is just a future sight card that hits enough of your deck to be useful. With a pure future sight, you can cast the card regardless of what it does. There are others that you can cast it if it's certain card types, like the case of Locked Hothouse. This one is more specific than most, but I think the fact that it's 2 mana is really meaningful and makes me a lot more willing to run it. And I also think that the downside of getting blocked by a non-power 2 or less card on the top of your library isn't as bad as you'd think. Like, it's still nice to have that extra information, and there's all sorts of stuff. You can play another draw effect. If you have a card that draws a card during combat, if you have something else on top of your library, you attack with your Glimmer Lensed creature. Suddenly now there's a 2 or less power creature on top of your library. You play it. You're happy. This is an advantage engine. I think the real question with this is how low in power 2 or less creatures can you go before it starts to become bad. And I am currently running it in a deck with like 30, and it felt pretty good the 2 times I played with it over this weekend. But I'm curious how this will continue to feel. However, my hopes are reasonably high.
I played this in my McCready Lamplight Mayor deck because that was a power 2 or less matters list. And as far as like card draw engines like this goes, 2 mana is so nice. Like, the fact that it's so cheap in the late game, you can very easily play this, look at the top and go, oh, perfect, and then flip over a creature. When these are like, 4 mana or more, sometimes you can't afford to also play the creature off the top, But it's I think this card's actually really good, and I have played it in decks before, so I'm already sold.
I definitely think this card's all right. The only thing is like the decks I think about that are like really weenie heavy, just like they love these like small little dudes, are typically not just white. They're typically white-green. And then once you've introduced green, you get Augur Bottom. You have Eladamri. Right, you like Elvish Ritual or whatever it's called, right? The 4-mana enchantment that makes all of your creatures into mana dorks, and then you can cast creatures off the top, right? You have all these other effects in green that do this, but for like a mono white deck, I am a lot more interested in this. In an Orzhov deck, I'm a little bit more skeptical because black gets really good card advantage. Like, in my opinion, like, why aren't we running in black, say something like I don't know, I'd even just like run a Night's Whisper. Like, you just draw 2 cards right away.
I played this overnight. I played this overnight Whisper in McCready, and it draws more than 2 cards consistently.
I just love Night's Whisper.
I know you do.
Hey, what can I say? I'm built different. I don't find myself top decking.
I mean, that's true. Like, neither do I, but also it's just nice to draw 2 more cards.
Yeah, Night's Whisper is solid.
But Assemble the Players is pretty decent. I especially like it, though, in a deck that can top deck manipulate. I think that's probably my favorite situation for it, because then you can actually use the information on top. So, like, a lot of fetch lands would be pretty cool. Right? Just a lot of ways to shuffle. The more ways you have to shuffle, the more I like this card.
For sure.
I like it in Azorius list. Like if you're playing Harbin, Vanguard, Aviator, or whatever the Orzor. No, what's the Azorius Merfolk guy?
Sig?
Sig, yes. Azorius Sig. Azorius Sig would be pretty sweet because you get some, you can put your Brainstorms and Ponders in there, and a lot of your Merfolk are like 2/2s that are just Lords, but on top of your deck, they're still 2/2s.
What depresses me is that this card doesn't let you Creature Storm. Some of my favorite turns in Kellen are like, oop, Eladamri hit a dork. Oop, Eladamri hit a dork. Oop, Eladamri hit a dork. Oh, tap 2 of my dorks that I just got into play. Here's Elishnorn off the top. Oh, here's another 3-drop. Right? Like, you get to, like, storm off the top of your library just casting, like, 6 creatures in a row.
Yeah,
Assemble the
green
players.
Green is overpowered, right? Green just gets to win the game for free. If you're playing other colors, you have to, like, put some effort into it,
Green is a drug. If you play it, your brain gets addicted to playing 10 creatures in a turn.
I'm just sad. I wish. Why can't white go wide? Why isn't white allowed to go wide no more?
Because it's not green. Green gets to do everything.
This is a cheap to deploy incremental advantage engine. Come on.
Yeah,
go Creature Storm somewhere else.
To eat the whole color pie.
It is a somewhat limiting card in some ways. I just really like that it only costs 2 mana. That's kind of my main thing. I think even if it was like 3 mana, you may cast a creature spell with power 3 or less. I think that gets a lot worse, even if it opens up some more creatures.
All right, moving on to the Beseech the Mirror section. This is where you beseech us for answers. All you have to do is put mirror, mirror in your comment, and we'll maybe, possibly, perchance, get to your question on the podcast. I know we didn't get to some last week, and next week we have a guest and we might not be able to get to it, but we'll do like a big question episode later to catch up. But maybe, I want to get in like 1 or 2 here. 1 or 2 fun ones we can talk about. How about this one? Because I think like none of us have built a bracket 1 deck, correct?
No.
No.
All right, Run on Peterson 4 numbers asks, Mirror, Mirror, and Happy Holidays. If you would build a bracket 1 deck, what theme would you do?
I already joked about doing this. I would do heteronormativity. It would be all like straight couples. So like Markov waltzers. It would be bride's gown and groom's finery. The exsanguinate with like the woman dancing with like her bite victim, and like all this other shit. It would be mostly vampires because Crimson Vow came out and had a lot of straight vampires in it. And it would just be man and woman in the art. That's the whole gag. And it's just like all the straight people. I need to find a way to put like Jason Vraska in there though. So it'd have to maybe be 5 color.
If I had to do a bracket 1 deck, I would probably pick just cards that have like a real like nice surreal horror vibe to them, because that tends to be my favorite realm of fiction media, is stuff that is kind of dreamlike and unsettling. So I would just get the spiciest nightmarish arts and throw that all in a deck and have a good time looking at it while I was playing it.
I would probably do something with like reptiles. It'd just be like all lizards of like specific breeds that I could point to and be like, this is obviously a whatever, like what is Gev is like a he's a gecko of something, obviously. He's a red-eyed crocodile skink, excuse me. And I would just like point and name each one, and that would be it. That'd be the whole deck.
Is Obstinate Familiar based on anything, or is this just an ugly fuck?
It's clearly very iguana inspired, I think.
I could see it, yeah.
There's only one blue tongue skink, and it's like lava something. It's like a really bad card. I want a better blue tongue skink.
Oh yeah, Elk. I want you to know that my cat Nico is in solidarity with you. He is sitting nearby, sneezing repeatedly. He got his little kitty cold from something or other.
Everyone's just sick all the time. It's awful. I think my entire friend group's sick. Not my fault, by the way. Hang on, wait. It makes me sound like I'm a horrible person who goes out. No, we all got sick in different ways. It was interesting.
You were patient zero for the super spreader event.
Oh, here it is. Sigiled skink. Yeah. I need a better blue tongue than this.
Oh yeah, there's the guy.
Oh, he scries 1 on attack. Look at him, though. He's cool. I like him.
I do like him. Very funny looking.
This card's so playable. All you need is Arena of Glory, and then you can scry 1 right away.
All right, let's do one more good question here. I have to weed through all of these comments of people just saying, "Elk, don't put flour on a fire. Elk, don't put flour on a fire."
Why are they commenting that? I don't get it.
Clearly, they're just not putting enough flour on the fire. Because if you put enough on, it does put it out.
Yeah, exactly.
I also see the people commenting on Spotify that are like, "Oh, I got an ad. They better pay you guys for that." I appreciate that. We're working on it.
That's good.
Oh.
All right, mirror, mirror. I forget my Verdant Force triggers because I'm distracted by Elk's legs to ask. When are Trinket Mage and Salubrious Snail getting the leg upgrade? I have one in the works. Not an avatar change, but a piece of art, we'll say, that should have some legs.
Are you gonna get like the Duretti, like Scrap Savant, like robot crab legs?
No, here I'll show you guys. I'll leave the reaction for other people. What about you, Alex? You gonna add legs anytime soon?
Yeah.
To a snail?
The Salubrious snail has a surgery scheduled in China for working on that. I don't know what they're gonna break, but it'll result in legs.
Okay, I think I want this for Dragon Shield collab for sleeves.
Ah, I see the vision. That's what I figured your legs would look like, you stumpy little fuck.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. I'll continue to bamboozle people when they meet me in real life because I'm just kind of a large guy.
Okay,
I think that's
great.
a good
That does
podcast.
it. Yeah, we did it.
Woohoo!